So we're going to start on the floor in our tabletop. And we're just going to round the upper back up nice and high. Keep it high. You might need to walk the knees in to the hands so that the hands and the knees are a little bit closer together. And we're just going to do some lateral shifting here. So it's not a really great range of motion. We're just trying to shift the shoulder over the opposite hand, back and forth between the two sides. And then we're going to keep that rounded upper back, and we're just going to start to draw a figure eight pattern. So we're going to lead with the shoulders, letting the hips follow with, so you should feel a little stretch possibly in the outside or the lateral part of the lower back. So just let the head hang down. Good, and then we're going to sit the hips down to the heels. And we're going to reach our arms out nice and far, so as long as we can reach them. And then keep reaching them just a little bit further. So take the fingers and just walk them across the floor until they literally can't go any further. We're going to keep the right hand down. We're going to take the left arm, palms are down right now. And we're going to swim it around so that the back side of the hand is on the lower back, but it's palms up. And then we're going to reach forward again, and we're just going to alternate sides. So every time we plant the hand back down, we want to walk the fingers out a little bit further so that we're making sure that the arm is extended as far as it can. And then when we rotate the hand around, we're going to swim it around, leading with the palm, getting the back side of the hand in contact with the lower back, palms up, and then overhead again, palms down. Don't worry about rep count. I'll let you know when to switch to different exercises. All right, and then from here, let's go ahead and take the right arm. We're going to thread it underneath the left arm, and we're going to go palms up, and we're going to try to take the right shoulder as close as we can to the floor. And then we're also going to simultaneously walk that left hand out as far as we can. So we're trying to extend that left arm overhead even further while the hips are down. So we're palms down with the left hand, palms up with the right hand. We're going to hold it for about another 5 seconds. Good. And then you can come up. We're going to take the right arm overhead, palms down, thread the left arm underneath, palms up, trying to get the back side of the left shoulder to the floor. Pulling that right hand forward, so just inching those fingers up as far as you can get it to extend the elbow. And hold. Try not to hold your breath. So breathing in, inhale, exhale. Good. And then we're going to come back up to the hands. Walk the hands back to the knees. So if you can stay kneeling, go ahead and stay kneeling. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you can go ahead and just sit. But we're going to drop the chin down to the chest. And then we're going to do really slow head circles, but our eyes are going to lead us where we're going. And then when we get back to the center, we're just going to go in the opposite direction. So it's going to take you a second to train your mind not to just rotate your head the direction you want it to go, but think about your eyes looking about where you're going to go first, and then letting the head follow where those eyes go. And every time you get back to the center, you're going to switch directions. And you should be going slow enough that if there's any tension in the neck or in the upper back, that it feels like it's like stretching or pulling. And then from here, we can come back to neutral. We're going to shrug the shoulders up nice and high, squeeze them together in the back, and then over round them forward. So we're going to squeeze them back, round them forward, pick them up, squeeze them back, drop them down, round them forward. You're going to feel like your back is moving with you a little bit too. So you don't need to keep a really rigid spine on this one. And then we're going to reverse that movement as best we can. So squeezing them back, lifting them up, rounding them forward, dropping them down. Your elbows are probably going to come out, your hands are going to move. It doesn't have to be super, super rigid in the movement. You can think about being like some sort of exotic performer and like dance flow movement is how I'm feeling right now. All right, take the right hand. I'm gonna grab the left side of the head. I'm gonna tuck the chin down towards our collarbone, so not directly down to our chest, but out at an angle. Taking the left fingers, and we're just gonna start to walk the fingers along the lateral part of the neck. So from the base of the ear, along the lateral part of the neck, down into the upper traps. And then you can start to add some pressure. So instead of walking the fingers, you can take them and make little circles, or you can just glide them up and down, adding some pressure. So thinking about like soft tissue work, some like substitute here for a gentle massage, and any kinks in that lower or right below the ear or right in that upper back, upper traps. Should do this for about another 5 seconds on this side. All right, now we'll take the left hand, grab the right side of the head, taking the right fingers, starting off with that dancing first. So we're behind and below the ear. We're just walking forward and back and up and down along the lateral part of the neck into the upper traps. And then whether you want to do like pinpoint circles or just up and down or left and right movements, you can switch to that. All right, so we're gonna lay on the ground on our left side. We're down on the ground, left side. We're gonna hold the right leg up with the left arm so that we can make sure that the right knee is above the right hip. Right arm's gonna be out in front, palms down, and then we're just gonna open and close that right arm like it's a book cover. So palms down in front of us, and then palms up to the ceiling on the right side of us. Nice and slow, again, letting the eyes follow where the hand goes. And when we get to the right side, we're trying to get the back side of the right hand and the back side of the right shoulder to the floor. Good, and on this next one, we're gonna keep the palm facing the floor here on our left side, and then we're gonna draw that nice big half circle or that arch with the fingers in contact with the ground. Rotate the hand all the way around to that open position, and then close it again. So keeping the fingers in contact with the ground, drawing the big half circle, the big half arch. Palms are gonna end up open again on the right side, and then we're just gonna bring the arm over to close it down. Good. Let's do one more. And then you can roll right over to your right side. Right side is down. So the right arm is now holding the left knee up. Again, just double checking and making sure that that knee is above the height of the hip. Our left arm's out in front here, palms down, and then open up, taking the back side of the left hand to the floor so that the palms are up. And we want the eyes to move with our hand or with the arm. It doesn't have to be super fast, it can be nice and slow. Again, trying to get the back side of that left shoulder to just touch the floor on that open position if you can. Good. And then from here, taking the fingers, drawing that nice big half circle arch all the way to the open position again, and then close it. So the elbow's gonna bend just slightly, but we're gonna try to keep it as extended as we can. And again, the goal is to try to keep the fingers in contact with the floor for that full half circle, that full arch. Let's do one more. All right, and then you can either come to kneeling or standing, whichever is more comfortable for you. And then we're just gonna sweep the arms forward and back, letting them cross in the front. And we're gonna alternate which arm crosses on top and which arm crosses on the bottom. Trying to bring them up so that the hands reach above the height of the shoulders. Good. And then we're gonna come out to a T, and we're just gonna simply rotate and turn the hands so that the shoulders move in their ball and socket joint, all right? So we can look towards the right and then look towards the left, and palms are gonna end up facing up on each side as you move through the shoulder. Good. Let those arms hang out a little bit. Here we're gonna go feet underneath the hips, trying to keep the knees as straight as you can. And we're gonna walk out to our plank. And we're gonna drop down to tabletop. We're gonna keep the right knee down, and then we're gonna step forward with the left foot. So we're in our kneeling spider lunge. And then from here, we're gonna rotate up with the left arm, hold it for 2. And then when we reach down, we're gonna take the left arm and reach back past the right knee on the outside and hold it for 4. And then we're gonna rotate up again, hold it for 1, 2, and then reach down, palms up, hand past the right knee, palms again facing up, I already said that, for 4. And do that a few more times. So we're up for 2, and then palms down towards the right knee, facing the ceiling for 4. Let's do 2 more. Nice tall reach. And then as far as you can reach those fingers past that right knee, we'll do 1 more. Good. We're gonna step back with the left foot. We're gonna step forward with the right. Rotating up with the right arm now. 1, 2 second hold, and then reach down with that right hand towards the left knee, palms up. And then reaching up, past the left knee on the outside, hold it for 4. So it's 2 second hold up, straight arm, 4 second reach back, still a straight arm, crossing the torso. One more. Good. And then we're gonna come back to our plank. Feet are gonna be wide, and we're gonna walk the hands back to the toes, to the feet, grabbing the tops of the feet, and then dropping the hips down to the bottom of our bootstrapper, keeping the heels down, keeping the elbows inside the knees, and then pressing the knees wide with the elbows, trying to keep the shoulders back nice and flat. And we're just gonna hang here in this position, opening up the hips as best you can. So you don't really need to do a lot of moving since we're gonna stay low for a little bit, but the wider that you can keep those knees with pressure from your elbows should feel like you're opening up the inside of the hips there. Let's go about another 10 seconds. All right, and then from here, we're gonna plant the hands. I want you to roll over your toes, walking out, dropping the hips down so that you're in modified plank or modified push-up. Keep those toes tucked and the feet wide, because now you're gonna walk back, rock over the toes, plant the heels, arms are up. And then we're gonna plant the hands, rock over the toes, drop the knees, walk out, come forward to your modified plank, squeezing the glutes when you bring the hips forward. And we're just gonna go back and forth, nice, slow, and controlled. Palms up, arms out. Rock over the toes, drop the knees. Let's get in 1 or 2 more of these. Squeezing the glutes when the hips come forward. I'll do 1 more from here. Good. And then we're just gonna simply sit. You grab the left leg behind the lower part of the upper leg so that the leg can kind of dangle. All right. And let's see what's the best angle for this. So with that left foot, taking the toes and rotating them to the right. They should be pointing towards the right foot, and then we're gonna keep them that way and extend the knee all the way, and then rotate the toes out to the left, and then pull the heel back down. And then we're gonna keep the toes out to the left, pull the foot back up, extending the knee, leading with the arch, rotating the foot back in, toes are pointed to the right and pulling the knee back down. Let's do that 1 more time. So we're gonna keep the toes to the right, pulling the knee up, extending the knee, and then rotate the toes out, pulling back down with the heel, and then coming back up, keeping the toes out to the left, leading with the arch of the foot, extending the knee, turning the foot in, pulling the heel down. And do the same thing on the right side now. So grabbing behind the right knee, letting the foot kind of drop and dangle, pointing the toes to the left. So extending the knee, pulling it up nice and straight. Once it's straight, rotating the foot out so the toes are to the right, pulling the heel down, back towards the hip actively, and then keeping the toes rotated out, pull the knee back into extension, lead with the arch of the foot, rotate the toes in, and then pull the heel back down, and we're gonna do 1 more. So the toes are facing the left, extending the knee nice and slow, and then rotating the foot out to the right, keeping the toes rotated out to the right, pulling the heel down, and then we're gonna lead up with the arch of the foot, rotate the toes to the left, and pull down with the heel. Good. And then we're gonna roll back to our back with our knees, and then just try to sit up. So holding behind the knees, rotating back, keeping the back nice and round, keeping the chin tucked, because we're gonna roll to the shoulders, but we're not rolling up to the neck. And then we're gonna plant the heels, pause there at the top just for a brief second, and roll back again. You can also grab the outer side of your leg. So instead of underneath the knees, you can grab on the outside above the top of the shin. And if you really want to open up the hips, you can grab your knees, let the knees, or not your knees, grab your heels, let the knees butterfly out, and roll here. We're just gonna do like 2 or 3 more. All right, then we're gonna come back to seated. We're gonna keep the feet together. We're gonna keep the knees butterflied out so that the hips can sit in that open position. We're gonna take the hands, we're gonna lead them to facing each other, and we're just gonna do some wrist circles. So the palms are facing, then the pinkies, and the back of the hands, and the thumbs. And then switching the directions. And then grabbing the right hand with the left at the fingers, palms are facing forward, elbows fully extended, and then drawing that elbow back to the rib cage and extending it again, drawing it back to the rib cage and extending it. We'll do 2 more on this side. And then we'll grab the fingers of the left hand with our right, extend the elbow, pull the elbow back to the rib cage. 1 more. And then from that seated position, with the hands the fingertips facing away, I'm just gonna lean back, and with as much range of motion that you have without creating a lot of pressure into the elbows. We're gonna think about taking the chest up to the ceiling and just keep leaning back and hold. For just a few more seconds, even let the timer run off. And then shift forward, we're gonna do it one more time. So just a little pressure off the arms, drive through those palms, shoulders are back, squeezing the shoulder blades together, extending the elbows, and we're trying to sit back while those knees stay butterflied and the bottoms of the feet stay touching each other. We're gonna hold this for 10 more seconds. 5. All right, rest. Cool. Good, good, good. Mobility flow complete.
All right.
So the main part of the workout